Hello and welcome to this short video, which is an introduction to legal artificial intelligence. I'm Simon George.
And I'm Jamila Chakar. Before we joined the University of Law, we were both lawyers. We're members of Ultra, which is the University of Law's Tech Research Academy. Together, we'll guide you through the world of legal artificial intelligence. This is the first video in a series which will cover a wide range of topics around legal AI. I'd like to start with a quote. All lawyers love a good quote. We always overestimate the change that will occur in the next 2 years and underestimate the change that will occur in the next 10. Bill Gates.
This quote is bang on the money for AI. We all fear it will take our jobs away in a year or two. It won't. And we've given very little thought to the longer term. We're currently at the peak of an AI hype cycle. Changes are going to be small in the short term, but it will be making a huge difference soon enough, about 5 years. Imagine a world where everyone had instant access to the best doctors and the best lawyers for a tiny fraction of the current cost. A huge amount of information has been on the internet for a long time, but making sense of that information for lay people is difficult. However, there are signs this is becoming much more accessible. 250 million people visit WebMD each year. That's medical advice without doctors. 60 million disputes on eBay each year are resolved without lawyers. There are online tax tools and you can do your wills online. This is the future, and it will likely see the end of the grand bargain between society and the professions. Although most lawyers will tell you that their work is very complex and requires a lot of finesse and fine judgment calls, intuition, and in some cases genius, the reality is quite different. Lawyers are right about some of the work they do. It does take skills that are hard to come by and hard to replicate in machines. But a lot of their work is relatively mundane. Typing and document checking, billing, legal research, attendance note, update emails, summarising documents, searching registers, the list goes on.
Rather than looking at a file as one complicated piece of work, if we break it down into parts, many of those are actually quite simple and can be automated. This is called the decomposition of work. Clients and law firms are seeing law less as a craft and more as a system with processes and checklists and defined outputs. The end result of combining decomposition of work and computers is that less expertise is required to operate these parts of these systems and could be operated by less qualified people.
Now let's move on and talk about how machines are getting better. Moore's law describes the rate at which computer chips increase in performance. It roughly doubles every 2 years. That means that the rate of growth is exponential. And about 2 years ago, computers were only half as fast as they are now. And in 10 years' time, they'll be 30 times faster than today. So what can legal AI do right now? Right now, think of legal AI as the mechanical digger, instead of dozens of people with shovels. It replaces the work of those particular people, but it allows much bigger construction projects to be undertaken. We don't employ as many people with shovels, but we need digger drivers, mechanics, and the whole construction project is bigger. It's not destroying jobs overall, nor is it fundamentally changing the work that's being done. Currently, there are some widely adopted AI tools that are used in a lot of law firms. The most common of these in the areas of research, document management, which will do things like proofreading and error correction and filing for you. E-discovery and due diligence, where they'll perform document review and contract analysis. And some common examples are listed on the screen. They include things like Contract Express. Contract Express will automate part of the drafting of documents for you. You select various options and it will auto-complete the drafting. And Linklaters Verify, which will check banking regulatory registers all over the world at the touch of a button.
AI can now read and understand clauses, so it can look for a clause, for example, a jurisdiction clause, and understand which jurisdiction the contracts are in. It can read and understand limitation clauses and identify any that differ from the norm or ones that are likely to cause problems. So you could upload or scan 10,000 contracts and have the machine summarise that data in an easily accessible table, graph, or pie chart. AI can search registers for you. It can also apply complex decision trees to thousands of documents without getting tired or running up billable hours.
But machines can't do it all, and much of what they do needs to be checked. They can't negotiate deals, they can't do bespoke drafting, and they can't do a lot of the work an associate can do. But they can make that associate's job a lot faster and more accurate. Luminance, for example, won't do your M&A due diligence exercise for you, but it will save you a huge amount of time by presenting the information quickly and clearly. The bigger the transaction, the more percentage time you save, but somewhere in the region of a third to a half of the associate's hours doing the due diligence can be saved. Behind all this change is the clients demanding that more be done with less. Gone are the days of unquestioned bills and long-term client relationships. The post-financial crash world is pushing through huge efficiency drives. AI is a big part of that efficiency gain. And the downside of AI is that large law firms' IT systems are cumbersome with lots of different software packages. This complex web of software needs to remain a functional and secure system at all times, and introducing new pieces of software into the system can cost millions. So there are significant challenges in making it work, particularly as the market is very much in its infancy.
At the more commoditised end of the market, AI has already made huge inroads into the work that solicitors do. Wills, simple tax advice, parking fine appeals, and many more are now routinely done online via simple tools, with no need for a lawyer. At the more bespoke end of the law, such as areas of high finance and where transactions are often international, changes will be much slower, but it is coming. If you doubt that a tech revolution is coming, just look at how seriously law firms are taking it. They are investing a lot of time and money into this. Just Google A&O Fuse or Denton's Next Law Labs for two big examples.
This takes us to the end of our introduction to legal artificial intelligence. For greater depth on this topic, check out the links related to the video. If you're looking for more information on how technology is being infused into the legal sector, please have a look at our other videos in the Tech Hub area of Relate. Thanks for watching.